Okay, folks, quick. If I were to ask you what the most dangerous thing is to a guitar, what would you say? Well, if you answered moisture or humidity or water, you'd be spot on. Water does a lot of damage to a lot of guitars, and that is the case with a guitar that I'm currently restoring. Normally, I just do a regular photo essay and post it here on Facebook. I got about a third of the way through this project and I realized that this soundboard on this guitar is so chaotic. There's so much going on, so many problems with it, that it's not going to make any sense to anybody if they're watching it or if they're looking at just the photos. And even though I try to do a caption for every photo, it just I just thought that an introduction would work better. So I decided to do, for the first time, a video. So here I am. Now, this is the guitar. Obviously, I've already started it, but check out this sound hole. Don't adjust your set. Can you see that wave? Can you see that warble? It's like a time warp of some sort. This side's even worse. Look at that. What would do that to a guitar? You can also see splits that run the full length from the neck block all the way down to the heel block on either side of the bridge. I'll see if I can get the lighting just right. There's one you can see, and I don't know if you can see the other one there or not, but I've started the repairs, so I just want to explain a little bit about what I'm doing. Guitar detectives out there, what do you see? What's your big clue here? See that dark spot, that dark stain? See, from the heel block right up to the first ladder brace. That's called ladder bracing. The soundboards of guitars usually have what's called an X bracing pattern. Older guitars don't. They also have ladder bracing systems. So one of the first things that I did was steam off, and you'll see the photos in the photo essay. Steamed off the bridge support. Bridges don't just sit glued on the top of the guitar. You have to have some kind of a support on the back. A brace, a big brace for the bridge. And it's usually trapezoidal because it usually goes in the bottom of the X pattern. But in these old guitars where they used ladder bracing for the soundboard, they would just do that like another ladder brace right across. And that, when it came up, that was in 4 or 5 pieces. So that told me that there was a problem there, and it was good that I was peeling it up. So I set about to go down. I picked out from my lumber stock in my basement a nice piece of Engelmann spruce and cut some strips. Sanded them down. This is what they call them popsicle sticks. Usually like in a Martin guitar that's book matched right down the center of the back. You look in the sound hole, there'll be popsicle stick running right down the middle, because that's kind of what holds the seam together, where the 2 pieces of the back are book matched. And then began cutting pieces to seal up the seam, the splits. that go up and down on either side. Now, I've got them all in, except for the bridge area, and on either side of the sound hole, that Stephen Hawking sound hole. That's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a wormhole, because it is. I've never seen a sound hole warp like that. That is just bizarre. Look at it. So, anyway, so I got these all glued in, clamped up. They're in place. The next step, well, I'm breaking the entire restoration into 3 phases. Phase 1 is from the waist, where the upper bout meets the lower bout, from the waist down. Phase 1, gonna have to deal with that bridge and all that warping and all that bellying, because that bridge has been pulling for a long time, doing what's called bellying, pulling that up like that. Phase 2 is going to be from the waist up to the neck block, the upper bout, and we'll be dealing with that sound hole. For the sound hole, I cut from that same piece of Engelmann spruce a couple of pieces of thicker wood. They're going to be braces that I simply put on either side of the sound hole. These are already cut to size. They're marked bass and treble. I just need to remember which is which, because I play lefty, so bass for me is different. But besides that, I just think that's a beautiful tobacco finish. The bridge is glued on perfectly. I think this is the original glue job. I don't think this bridge has been reset. The neck definitely hasn't been reset on this guitar. The sides are in good shape. Everything, I mean, there's a lot good about this, but this soundboard is a nightmare. So, the bridge. A bridge too far. I cut out a little template from an old pizza box, a frozen pizza, and this is, can you see where the 2 splits are? Right below this popsicle stick and right below this popsicle stick. And then can you see my pencil marks that go off at an angle on either side of those? That's what this is for. And when I got that template cut out perfectly and perfectly sized, I then turned that into this. I got a nice piece of very solid, very dense maple, and cut it out, and that's actually going to fit in. Obviously, that's 5/8 of an inch thick. I'm just going to shave 1/8 of an inch off, and that 1/8 of an inch will be thick enough to give me all the support that I need. It'll be a good, maple's a very good tone wood. Can't really hear it when it's 5/8 of an inch thick. But when I shave 1/8 of an inch off and cut that and use that 1/8 of an inch in this area, I think it's going to pull everything together, and it'll set the lower bout. It'll get that in place and anchor everything, so that then I can work on the sound hole. And then I move on to phase 3, which is the neck. The neck, surprisingly, obviously in the 1930s, necks didn't have any truss rods. Still, Brazilian rosewood fingerboard here, and original frets. And there's no rock anywhere. The neck is straight. The neck is the fretboard, the fingerboard is, I would almost call it pristine. The original ebony nut. I might try to get that saddle out. I'm not sure what that saddle's made of here in the bridge. And I might just try to mill up a new saddle out of elk antler or something and optimize to every degree that I can the sound transmission of doing what's called exciting the wood. When the strings vibrate, that vibration is transmitted through the sound, through the soundboard by way of the bridge, and that does what's called exciting the wood, and the wood vibrates, the soundboard vibrates, and that's what comes out the sound hole. All that said, when we line this up right on the frets and bring it over to the bridge, what happens? That is way too low. So it is going to need a neck reset. But I don't want to do a neck reset on this guitar. There are too many problems that can come up. And it hasn't been done before. So I don't want to be the first one to do it on a nearly 100-year-old guitar. I got a trick up my sleeve that I think is going to work, and I think it should pull this whole thing together. So look for the Kalamazoo photo essay that'll be coming up soon, and feel free to make comments on any of the photos, ask questions. Lutherie is just fascinating to me. I've been doing it off and on for close to 40 years. And first time, I've never seen a sound hole do that before. But that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes every restoration that I do fun. So that's it. Come see the photos. Look forward to answering your questions and chatting about this particular guitar. Josh, if you're out there and you're watching this, don't worry. I'm taking good care of it, and I'm going to fix it, and you're going to love it. So that's it. And I'll part with a shot of my next nightmare. The Harmony Broadway. That is terrible to me.